right, everybody, welcome back. My name is CJ, and today we are down here on my trail that I had built here a couple weeks ago now, and we got some work to do. As you can see, I got this culvert pipe. My dad brought this down the other day. What I'm going to do is, behind the camera here, I'll show you here in a second, there's a spring coming down off the hill, and I want to get this culvert pipe in there so it doesn't wash out my trail, and so that we'll have just nice dry dirt to drive over so we can keep going out that way. So right here, coming down off the hill, is that spring. Whoop, I'm gonna lose my shoes here. So what I want to do is come in here with the front end loader and go ahead and dig out a trench. And I'm going to try to line it up because it's a little bit off right now. It's actually coming down from here, then angling over and down that way. So I'm going to try to dig out, if I can get in there with the tractor, try to dig out a ditch here, and then I'm going to put a couple rocks down. That way it doesn't sink and plug up on me. And then we'll cover it up with dirt after that. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Well, so far this is going just about what I thought would happen. I'm getting stuck in the mud over there, and I even had my side pin on the front end loader come out for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but I found the back pin. Somehow it popped off, but got it back on, and then as you saw, I had to keep turning the tires to get out of there that last time. So we got some dirt out of here, but it looks like I'm gonna have to go back up to the house and go get a shovel, some mud boots, and do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so we're back out here. It's been about a week because I wanted to wait to see if any of this would dry up. Whoop. I got water coming out of the culvert pipe here, but it's still not buried far enough yet. And then I still got some water hanging around here. And we haven't had rain for weeks now. But over here, it has dried up some. So that's going to give me some dirt to cover this all back up, I think, because I'm just not going to be able to get the tractor in here far enough. So I'm probably just going to have to dig this out by hand. All right, so that's where I think I want it. And it's down there below the main trail line as far as where it was to begin with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get on the tractor and see if I can move any of this at all to get a little bit closer, and then hopefully be able to flatten this all out and be able to drive across it. Okay, so I got the pipe covered with dirt now, but I just don't want to go up next to it because it's still soft right there. I want to wait another day or so and see if that'll dry out. And then if not, I'm going to have to go get some rocks and put in there. And then after that, we can definitely get through on the Saba side. All right, so it's the next day and it's still wet right there by the culvert pipe. So we're going to go down and we're going to put rocks along the trail in the bucket, dump them. And then I went ahead and hooked up this land plane, and then I'm going to back up and pull that dirt that I dug out for the culvert pipe, and we're just going to try to smooth everything out. All right, so this is exactly why I put the culvert pipe in, because I did not want this to happen. I'm stuck, and let me see if I can show you here. If you can see right down here, that tire's buried, and if I try to come out, that back tire is going to go down and it's going to head down. So now the project begins, and I'm going to have to go up to the house, get the side-by-sides, a shovel, a board, and maybe even a come along, because this isn't the first time this has happened to me. So we're going to go try some things here. All right, we got out of there, just barely, but it actually went pretty smooth. As you can see, there's the hole right there. And that was down in, and what I was afraid of, I was just gonna keep inching my way down over this hill. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's kind of steep right here, and you'll just keep inching down. So what we did back here, I just hooked up a strap here, and I wanted it on this side. That way it pulled my back end up. And then I took a come along here and then hooked it up to a chain around a tree that was up. And then we just kept inching it away. And then if you heard the beeping, that's because I didn't set the parking brake on it. That way I could pull it a little bit. I didn't want it to be fighting against me, since it was just me doing it. I wasn't going to put one of the girls on the tractor, that's for sure, because you never know how that's going to work out. Rather lose the tractor, not a big deal, but that's why it was beeping. That way I could try to pull it myself with the come along. But it worked. So now what I want to do is I want to get some rocks, and what I was trying to do to begin with was get on this side and then land plane the dirt that I had on this side across and make it all smooth. A bonus is all the water is coming through the pipe now because we compacted everything. I kind of wish I was on the other side. I would have let this dry out for a couple days, but we need to get back across because it looks like it could rain now. So we're just going to fill in them holes and then try to get back across, and then I'll call this a win for a little while. Okay, so as you saw, we got across. I got the tractor out of here, so that was my main goal. But while we were driving over top of this, as you can see, I've got really, really good flow coming out of that culvert pipe now. So I hope the rest of this will dry out like back here has, because that was all wet at first too. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the land plane and smooth everything out. And I've noticed with the land plane, it'll rip out your vines and your roots that are sticking out of the ground too. So I want to go on the trails and do all that. And I left it hooked up because I want to come back down here and do that. But for now, I'm going to call it a day. And like I said, we're going to let this dry out a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We almost had some trouble. At least we didn't get the tractor down over the hill. But until next time, everybody, thanks for watching.